name did you convince a regretful assassin like Marisol to reject her violent impulses? And are you taking new patients?
Am I taking new patients? Nothing like a sneeze to get you going in the morning. My goodness, 2 back to back. It's gonna be that kind of a morning. This is not the save. This is where I was. I gotta go load a game here. There's a third sneeze lurking right now. All right, we got to figure out what I was working on. Well, before I do anything, I probably need to sell junk. Oh my goodness, I got to deal with this cat. She's being a psychopath. Blanca? I got Blanca on this side of the door. I have Frodo on the other side of the door, and they both want to kill each other. She wants to go out in the house and run around because she has the zoomies, and he's just waiting on the other side of the door for her to come out so he can kick her ass. Should I show everyone what you're doing right now? Being a psychopath, just running around the room. She wants to go out. She's right at the door. I do need to put her out. Otherwise, she's just going to tear everything up. Give me a second. Apparently, we are not doing normal morning routines this morning. Is that the normal routine is for her to just hang out, go back to sleep. She did not want to go back to sleep today. She's wanting to be Psycho Kitty. Yeah, we got to go back to the ACS Indisputed Claim. Knowing that, I should sell everything I have. Because there's going to be some good gear that I need to probably get hands on. Either on this ship there or the other ship. Oh no, I accidentally sold something. Damn it. It's too late now. Alright, I sold something by accident, damn it. Well, I'm never going to use this stuff, so it doesn't really matter. One curiosity. That's like a plasma rifle. Test it somewhere else. I'm gonna hold on to that. That'd be great if I sneaked a lot, but I don't sneak. Alright, I think we can officially go to the ship now. I almost want to go to that other ship. Check. Morning, folks. 7 hours before the game releases officially? Yes.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, Auntie's Choice will get what's coming to them. Been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I just didn't think it would start this way. With me turning murderer. Auntie had me good and fooled. She ain't any better than Spacer's Choice. Making any of them see reason is an impossibility. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. They used to say it about us workers, like we were the problem. It was terrifying. But now I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then, but it certainly can now.
Sometimes violence is the answer. This could be one of those times.
Ain't sure if I should be relieved or appalled that you'll co-sign an extrajudicial killing so easily. I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment, knew I always aimed to do right by him and folk everywhere, but he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw?
Maybe, but what matters is what you do next. Let's go find this Willard.
Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't
No, that
broken
was
my
not a parody
contract,
video,
I wouldn't be
unfortunately.
here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention.
I
Maybe
actually
this
stopped my
is what I
lunch
was meant to
to
do.
go record that because I was literally
Suppose we're fixing to find out.
heating up my food, and I had started eating, and then it popped up on my phone that Amazon was firing up to 30,000 employees, and I went, well, that sucks. You know, it's corporations do that shit all the time. Another day, another dollar. Uh, no big deal. And then I saw the news that their live service division was getting essentially shut down, and I was like, oh shit. And then like a few minutes later, someone posted in Discord the link to the New World post, and I went, well, I gotta go. So I literally stopped my lunch to go make that video. I'm genuinely interested about because they had a Lord of the Rings game in development, and there's no word on that one yet. There have been some there's like a rumor going around because someone found a LinkedIn post from a person who supposedly worked on the project, and that person said, well, this sucks, you guys would have really liked the Lord of the Rings game. But that's not the same thing as an official confirmation. And unfortunately, I've seen a whole bunch of YouTubers like Baggins TV and other people making these posts about how the Lord of the Rings. Hang on a second here, I gotta adjust something here. How the Lord of the Rings game is probably nuked. And it's like, probably yes, but probably is not the same thing as posting about it as if it's actually nuked. And because of that, a lot of people are, because Embracer still hasn't said anything, and Embracer is who owns the IP. Amazon was just developing for them. So, that looks good. Try to do some adjustments here. I was adjusting the monitor. Anyway, until such time as either Embracer or Amazon makes an official statement regarding the Lord of the Rings game, I'm not gonna count that one as out just yet. But it's likely. But you never know. Lord of the Rings is a much bigger draw than, New World was a new IP, whereas Lord of the Rings is a known IP. So we shall see. Thanks for the sub over on Twitch, Noel88. Appreciate the support. So it's going to remain to be seen what exactly is going to happen with the. Like I said, I'm not willing to count the Lord of the Rings game as dead because no one has made an official statement, and they will make an official statement. If you remember in 2022, the previous game that Amazon was developing with Tencent, when that one got canceled, they made an announcement. There are always press announcements when the game is officially canceled. So, wait and see.
Blades, bludgeon. Hey, you smell gunpowder? Do you want to? Then buy one of my handy firearms. Browse all you like. Everything. Feel free to go on.
All right. Do you have anything?
If it inflicts, I think I missed. Browse all you like. Feel free to go on.
I actually don't think I need any of those at the moment.
Tired of firearms that explode in your face? Come to Not a Weapons Store.
You know, one of the things I wish we could do here, compact assault rifle double barrel. Reduces ammo costs. Yes. I probably need to go through all the weapons I have and see what mods I have available. What mod slots I have available. Silencer. Advanced mag. Adds penetration through soft targets. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, this will allow me to give it a bigger magazine. This, I have a barrel mod, which could be a silencer, but I don't really want to do that because it'll just reduce the damage. Oh, these are both assault rifles. Well, I'll be damned. But they use different weapon types. So that counts. All right, modulator. How do I toggle? I would love to do it by type. I don't care about that. Reduces ammo costs. But that's for the shock assault rifle, not the normal assault rifle. I'll buy it anyway, just to have it. No, I don't want to do accelerated bursts. Charged bursts, no. No. Increases weapon range while reducing coil. Reducing recoil. That sounds good because it's not adjusting my damage. I don't want double barrel. Okay. That should allow me to then just pick which one I want to go to. 35, 35. Tiny plasma heated pellets that goad enemies. That's going to taunt, which I don't want to do. But it only works on that one. Alright. Why not? Alright, that's fine for now.
Get caught unawares, all you like. I feel. Tell me what you need. Can do.
Calorie counter, heavy armor. I don't want heavy armor. What kind of mods we got? Union diffuser, that's nice. When affected by a damage type debuff, you emit damage of this type to foes in the area around you. Also kind of groovy, man. Alright.
You lost it. I'm selling.
Well, I'm going to hold off on modding Acquiescence quite yet. I need to find some better armor, is what I really need to do. I need some better armor. We'll work on it. It's a good game. I think it's better than the first game. I wouldn't say that I enjoy it more than the first game, because I'm enjoying them equally, but it's definitely a better game, which is what pretty much most sequels are. Most sequels are better than their first. I would say 99% of sequels that I've ever played are better than the first games. How close am I to level 19, by the way? I wonder if I ought to try to do some side quests before I do this, because if this has a 20 skill check on speech, I might not be able to pass, because I'm only at 18 speech. Let's do a hard save right here. I don't know which one we're going to. Let's go to the value added Esplanade. In the case of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it's 3 times as good. I'm looking forward to a replay. Now that I know that the DLC is the finale, which is November 11th, I think January I think we're going to start the new year off with a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 replay with all the DLC. I'll be able to do it on the PS5 Pro. I played the first time on the regular PS5, and it looked great. Alright, before I do any quests, what kind of weapons can I buy in here? Comestibles. Beverages. I'm looking for weapons and armor.
At Unrelated Bric-a-Brac, we offer a feast your up.
Nothing that I want here.
Visage equitable profits, beneficent scheduling, and the best healthcare humans can buy. Plus, as part of Auntie's family, your purchases drive our
Feeling queasy? Seeing spots?
Medicine, no. No. Are there like weapon vendors in here? I need to find out. It's not going to show me on the map. Contract surgical specialist.
Ever miss a limited time offer? Wonder about how your life would have been?
Who is going to sell armor and weapons up here? Medicine?
You there? Yes, you! I recognize your kind anywhere.
That's food. Huh. I don't see anybody that sells weapons and armor down here. Beverage.
That's what unbridled freedom's all about.
Hang on, we got merchants down here.
Purple berry product sample.
Sample.
Purple berry product sample.
This was the one is free. That's the bar.
Where's comestibles? Where's comestibles?
Huh. Alright, well. Market compliance.
Can't tell the difference between
Aha!
cover and conceal. Well, welcome, future repeat customer. I can. All right.
This is what I was looking for. Berserker's Bucket. No. I don't see anything that strikes my eye.
You have the look of someone with Unfortunately.
What you got? Nothing special. Nothing that I want to buy. Pop-up gun. Fires aggressive advertising drones to capture your target marker, goading them. Automatically. What the fuck? I don't even want to know, man. That's hilarious. Alright. We're looking for the elevator. Alright, this is going to be where we go from here. I'll be right back. More coffee. coffee scored. Let's go up and confront Willard Cohen.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight.
Want to handle this, Inez?
I do. Been waiting on this moment. This grafting program is a law-damned abomination. I went to your lab on Cloister, saw for myself what kind of depravity your folk got up to there. It's sick. My friend was butchered by Rasmussen. And he wasn't the only one. In fact, this program's been a sham from the start. I got tossed aside. And for what? A mistake? Ain't nothing good that's come of this. It's time to call it quits.
What a preposterous notion. Shall we stop producing inhalers because of side effects? Or shut down all food factories because one severed appendage finds its way into packaging? No, certainly not. I am not to blame for whatever inconvenience you experienced as a first edition patient. To quit now would be to toss aside all our progress.
I don't even know what that one is. Info not required. Her experience has been the norm. Fact is, the program isn't viable.
Nonsense. I have myriad data at my disposal to dispute such a claim.
Don't matter to me what your plans are, or what you think you might accomplish. You've hurt too many good folk, and I've had enough.
I fear you've gotten too negative an impression of this work. Hear me out, will you? Allow me to assuage those fears.
I already know why you're doing this. The money's too good.
My mind is not entirely consumed by capital, I assure you. It's also consumed with professional pride and self-preservation. We cannot speak of sensitive business details here. There's no telling which opportunistic colleague or overpaid contractor could be listening in. They would ruin me. Ruin me! Meet me in back deck steerage. Take this pass for the tram. And for law's sake, make sure no hanger-on follows you. Especially that assistant of mine next door. Chin up, dear. I believe I'll change your mind yet.
No, I seriously doubt it.
Seen this song and dance from all manner of suits before. Reckon he'll try to reel us into a ridiculous scheme or bribe us with bits or booze or what have you.
I guarantee you. Back deck steerage.
No fewer than 6. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Andy's choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Andy's
Unavoidable
choice.
embedded chemicals. Unavoidable. That's the key, right? Think about that next time you open up a box of cereal. Unavoidable chemicals.
Ah, you came. Foolish, aren't you? Thinking I'd reveal my secrets to the likes of you. Ha! Contractors, now's your chance. First one to kill these imbeciles gets a one-time immune assault discount.
Great. The loading screens suck. This gun kicks ass. Big fan of this gun. My goodness, this thing is awesome. You know, I wish there was an area loot. That would be really cool. Maybe that's a quality of life thing they can add later on. Alright, let's see what this guy... I mean, the fact that he just tried to kill us, I don't see any way out other than just nuke the dude.
I knew you'd come through, my good Biff. That discount will be applied to your next purchase at the commissary, but cannot be combined with other... Ah! You! You're still alive!
Ain't gonna be that easy to get rid of us, you idiot. This how you treat all folk who approach you in good faith?
No folk have ever made it this far. How did you get past all my contractors? They were heavily trained and heavily expensive.
One last chance, Willard. Resign. Shut down your program for good.
This again? What is it with you? No! I've no incentive to shut down my life's work, especially at the demand of common thugs.
Whole bunch of stuff I don't have access to. Alright, Inez, tell him what common thugs will do if he doesn't comply.
You ever seen a grafted claw strip flesh from the bones of a stubborn old man?
No.
Well, on the count of 3, you will. 1.
All right, fine. Consider this my resignation. Here, take everything I have. Any bits left in my office are yours. Just, please, don't follow me.
Good riddance. But this ain't over yet.
No, it ain't.
The other executives will be notified the moment Willard flees the undisputed claim. And within hours, dozens of rung climbers will be at the tower jockeying for his position. It's all but certain that they'll claim his work for their own, and make his bastardization of a grafting program all the worse if they so choose. Ain't about to let that happen.
What are you suggesting?
Ain't suggesting. I'm telling you that we can't stand by and do nothing. It's obvious he was up to his neck in some scheme. If we dig it up and get the word out, his legacy will be in shreds. Maybe folk will be less inclined to follow in his footsteps. Should all but guarantee that Willard can't come crawling out from whatever rock he's keen to hide under, in any case.
Let's get to it then. Tell the public.
You and I both know that's not true. No. The only feelings a sob story inspires round these parts are feelings of relief and misplaced superiority.
Alright, let's dig up some dirt.
Alright. We ought to start by searching his office. Once we got what we need, we can head to the recording studio to get the word out.
Alright. Well, office first. Thank you. Maxing my speech out. There we go. Max level 20, specialized in speech. Except. Alright, I now have max level speech, and I can focus on other things. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, there are some games. The thing is like all games have loading screens. It's just certain games do different games mask it differently. But it's also about the type of game that it is. And what's going on in the game. Like this, as an example, this ship is extremely NPC heavy. So what I mean by that are lots of NPCs with lots of lines of dialogue, lots of interactability, lots of branching choices, branching narratives, lots of things. So that's all code that has to be contained. If that code is here and it's open with all sorts of other code, it has the chance to get tangled. So the smart thing to do is to confine that code into its own space, aka zone, so that it doesn't tangle with the code in the other zone. So as an example, this place is broken down into 4 regions. I'm explaining this in a really simplistic manner. We have the promenade, login, entry, the market, and the office tower. Well, and then I guess there's 5 areas. It would be a nightmare to try to do this seamlessly because of all of the lines of code that would interact with each other due to all the NPCs. And so by sectioning it off into little zones with loading screens between, you can ensure that the lines of code stay separate and everything works. Now, in a game like, say, Ghosts of Yotei, where there might be lots of NPCs, but those NPCs are not talking NPCs. They are not narrative NPCs. They are enemies that you can kill, right? Or they're just background NPCs in a village that don't have any dialogue or anything. They're just there as set pieces. There's no complexity of code there, so you can have a much bigger space with much more going on in terms of visible NPCs. And so you can have this really big zone because there's not a lot going on. Because the only NPCs that are talking are your character and a quest NPC or 2 or 3 that you might have, and there's no branching dialogue in Ghosts of Yotei. It's a linear game that has set decisions that because they're all cutscenes, right? So it's, I mean, it would take me an hour to really explain it, but that's the short version of why a game like Ghosts of Yotei can have a huge, wide open environment without a loading screen. But even Ghosts of Yotei has loading screens between the different areas and every time you fast travel. But then also, correct, when you deal with a game like Fallout 4, Skyrim, Oblivion, Starfield, those games have physics because you can literally pick up any single object in the game and move them around. And they have to, again, that's the how many things in an area. So you have to quadrant off that house interior because it's got 600 objects in it that can be placed and touched and moved around. Because if you have that house open and there's 10 other houses that are open, now you're dealing with 6,000 physics objects all in one space. There's no computing power by modern machines that can handle all the rendering of all of that in one place at one point in time. So it has to be segmented out and sectioned out. So anytime people make those bad faith arguments about loading screens are bad and there's just so many loading screens, they just fundamentally don't understand game development. Fundamentally, they don't. Must expand with your performance. Well, I haven't found anything in here, and I don't have hacking. So I may not be able to find any dirt.
If we drag enough skeletons out of Willard's closet and dangle them in front of the masses, things will go our way. Just have to look in the right places.
Well, I don't see any other dirt that we can potentially dig up because I don't have the hacking. Oh, hang on. Well, hello there.
You cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times.
That's right, Gray.
I am not to be disturbed.
Square holes, round pegs.
That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such.
I'm here to tell you that your treacherous fiend of a boss is now out of commission, and I'm investigating all of his indiscretions. You wouldn't happen to know about any unsanctioned business dealings, would you?
Ah, I'm afraid I can't help with that. I've only spoken with him once, upon my hiring.
What about where he keeps his files?
Well, yes, but not here or face to face. I was to have all communications sent to a private room at the Best Choice. He held all his business dealings and records therein. I gather he was circumventing intellectual property taxes or some such.
That's the bar.
The Best Choice. That's the lounge for VIPs, looking out over the Esplanade, if I'm remembering right. We might pay it a visit.
Oh, not might. We're definitely gonna pay a visit.
This is actually an experimental operation with high import. Do pay it some respect, will you? And close the door when you leave.
All right. Off to the VIP lounge we go. I think that was back at the first area.
What sort of reception do morally gray outsiders receive when they join up with Auntie's choice? Why, let's take a look.
Welcome, eager go-getter daredevil.
Purple berry product samples! Purple berry product samples!
Auntie's Choice esteemed and valuable disposable agent program.
What if I can get through the door now since I've already been in one time? Yep, the door's already open.
Yeah, this is about what I expected.
What do we got here? Somebody. Ah, no. I gotta reload. I got caught. I got caught stealing. And I got a bounty with Annie's Choice, which I don't want to do. I gotta earn faction with Annie's Choice, damn it. Oops. Oh no, it loaded the wrong one. We gotta load previous to that. That's funny. Ah, alright, so we gotta go all the way. Does this count the... Nope, we gotta do this conversation real quick. Skip, skip,
I'm here
skip.
and I'm in.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't. I got
the Best Choice.
Down we go. I need to remember to save before I go into that room, otherwise I'll get caught for stealing.
Product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now. As a responsible member of society,
Responsible member of society.
Horse comestibles! Horse comestibles! We're literally giving them away!
Alright, let's save the game so I don't accidentally do that again.
Yeah,
Come on
this is about
inside
what I expected.
and close the door. Can I steal without... There we go. I just had to have the door closed. Close the door, my dear. Yes, yes, yes. I don't want to get caught doing any naughty things. I gotta remember where to go to have the pitch card game. A brief look through the long-running report shows a clear pattern. Willett has been siphoning money directly away from anti-seemingly dominant aesthetics funds, redirecting it to WHK Enterprises. I have found definitive proof, but there could be more to dig up. Really? Let's talk to her and see what she says.
Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time.
Why are you obsessed about it, Samuel Smith? Does it matter what platform I'm on? I'm genuinely curious. What's your obsession with what platform I'm playing on? Love to hear it. Thanks for letting me know. Private room. I don't think there was anything else in here, was there? There's nothing hidden in here. Well, the graphics look good on every platform. It's a good-looking game. You have a Series S? Well, the Series S, yeah, I'm on a Series X. I have no idea what the performance or options are going to be like on the Series S, so, but... Correct, it looks even better when it's not being streamed because there's compression going on YouTube and Twitch and Kick and everything else. Plus there's bit rates and all that other stuff. Well, I don't know. There could be more to dig up. Huh.
What now?
Nah, you're not gonna tell me
Oh.
anything.
Now please, go anywhere else so that I can tend to the actual patrons.
Hang on, I've got... That's the recording station, and then I've got something pointing me over here. As if there's still more evidence.
Horse
I'm thinking that's the computer is what it's pointing me at. Visit Willard's office. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hack that computer, so I don't think that I don't think I'm able to get that optional extra information. I'll double check it later. There's not going to be any way for me to get anything else because I don't have a way to hack. It is what it is. Nothing else in this room we can grab. More terminals we can log into. Oh, I think that's all we're gonna get.
What sort of reception do morally
I would imagine the game will look similarly on the. It will look similar on the Series S because I'm playing in performance mode, not quality mode. So I would assume it's going to look roughly the same because the Series S is going to be running it in performance mode.
Ah, yes. I understand I may look in charge, but I'm just minding the desk for our esteemed director, the real talent, as they say.
I need to get a message on the broadcast, urgently. Can you help with that?
Not unless you need any clever pointers on enunciation. Our director, however, is in one of the recording booths. Through the door to your left. You'll want to speak with her.
Welcome to Wireless Free Arcadia Studios. Thessaly Falk, Director of Talent Placation and General Runnings. Here to contract a recording or in the market for autographs?
Holt sent me to speak with you. I got a message I'd like to send out over the wireless. Trust me, this is one all the folk in Auntie's Choice won't want to miss.
Is that so? Well, the more riveting the content, the larger our commissions. However, as you're without an appointment and I'm quite busy, I'm afraid I've only time to record one take. Do make it count. Shall we begin?
Glad we're in agreement. I'm here to expose the truth about a prominent vice president. His business dealings are not what they seem.
That's quite the bold claim. Now remember to speak into the mic, dear. Enunciate clearly but with feeling. Inhabit the words. Be the message. Joining us today in the studio is a very special guest and rare specimen indeed. A grafted soldier. And one who alleges that one of Auntie's own vice presidents is not who he seems. Take it away.
Inez Silong speaking. I got intel on an illegal program led by Vice President of Experimental Operations, Willard Conan. Folk aplenty suffered because of it.
Some say there cannot be success without suffering. It's more or less standard operating procedure, isn't it? Unless you're leaving out any gory details. Some within our organization might call that frugal, thrifty even. That is, why waste a perfectly good resource when no one else has use for it?
These are human beings I'm speaking of, not barrels of void damn uranium. They were good folk who didn't know what they were signing up for. They deserved better. But if that ain't incriminating enough for you, Willard had himself some money problems, which ain't too distant from a grave sin far as Auntie's concerned.
What's up, Fendar?
Getting somewhere. Tell me, did he squander all his bits on drink? Bet it all on a tarmac and cheese rebranding? Or worse,
Siphoning from Auntie's account.
We found a ledger of his with an admission of stealing directly from Auntie and placing those funds in an account for an enterprise.
So he admitted outright that he stole.
Well...
You're very new to this kind of business, aren't you? Your disclosure wasn't as
Commander, I don't think we did enough. Law. I know we ain't gonna know for sure until the broadcast airs, but we ought to go.
Oh, Inez, almost forgot. We have a bit of a goodie bag for special guests who visit the studio. You qualify. Do collect it from the front desk on your way out.
Well, I didn't have hacking to be able to get to the extra juicy tidbits, so that's nothing I can do about that.
Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya.
It said something about a goodie bag. What goodie bag? It would be that goodie bag because we've just maxed out her mods.
Future's filled me with dread for so long, but sure.
All right. Well, it is what it is.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it.
Yeah, I think everybody was surprised by the New World announcement. I mean, that was I mean, 30,000 people lost their job. I mean, up to 30,000 people are losing their jobs. It's corporate bullshit at its highest, but also, you know, big corporations cut thousands of jobs every single year. But yeah, I did not anticipate them gutting their gaming division. And the crazy thing is like they haven't gutted their gaming division. They literally, if you read through the press statements, they've gutted their live service first-party division in favor of creating AI-based games for the Luna platform and casual games. So they're going to be focusing on single-player titles and things that they can create utilizing AI because it's cheaper. You don't have to pay human beings. You can pay AI. I'm not nearly as naive as a lot of people who are like, I'm gonna boycott Amazon. I'm boycotting all they think. No, I'm not in a position to boycott them. You know, I literally rely on Amazon for a lot of our life purchases. Like I order things from Amazon every single week because it's the only way for me to get certain things delivered to my place because I live in the middle of nowhere. So I don't get the luxury
No time for a chat, Commander?
of not continuing to support Amazon. But it sucks in terms of, you know, seeing a great game get axed like that.
Commander, you hear my interview over the wireless too? They've been playing it every hour.
Yep.
Part of it,
It's
anyway.
business.
I really
Wish the
thought
best
I'd be
and
heard
move
out,
on.
telling folk about Willard and his damned awful dealings. Instead, Thessaly herself thought to mock me. I can't to you, maybe. But to a lot of folks, she tells it like it is. And they listen. I ain't meaning to say I don't appreciate your help, Commander. I do. Guess I was just hoping that we'd have done enough to keep more folk. Someone will take up Willard's work, so I need to work fast to keep the program shuttered. If I gain enough notoriety from saving Arcadia with you,
you can boycott AI-produced games, correct?
I still feel like a fool sometimes. I spent so much
That's for sure,
time begging to be validated by Auntie's choice and her leaders. Like I was worth only what they thought of me. I really believed when I ended my contract
Exactly,
that a better life
Solitaire.
was
It's a
possible.
matter of privilege.
I know the truth about Auntie's choice now. So yeah, a better life is possible. Just not at someone else's mercy. I will, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save.
All right. Somehow I have to get over to return these lost supplies. You know what? Let's listen to some codecs wireless here.
Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days at Nix's with dodge and protective controls. You remember that?
Oh, I forgot my shield. Oh, damn it. I literally was in the middle of it when I saw the poisoning. I was like, no, I forgot to equip my shield. Ah. Yeah, the whole, anytime someone rants about how we should boycott something, and then gets mad when you don't want to follow their boycott. It's like, boycotting is a personal decision. It's not as easy as you might think. Especially when it comes to things that aren't, direct violations of like human rights or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm getting at here. It's one thing to say, no, I won't do that thing because it's going to directly affect my neighbor, or it's based on racism, or it's based on genocide. That's one thing. That's one thing. It's another thing that's like, well, I'm going to boycott this company because I don't like the business decisions they make. I'm sorry, I'm not in that position. Like, there's this great discussion that I can't remember where it was had. It's a couple years ago. Might have been less than that. We had someone who got I had to block them from YouTube. They were a community member from the UK. They had been around for a while. And we were having this discussion about Amazon like a year, it's got to be more than a year ago now. But they were extremely like opinionated in chat about how anyone who bought items through Amazon was supporting like this evil thing, and they would go on these rants about how, I live on disability in the UK and I make a conscious decision not to support them, and as a result I live this extremely restricted lifestyle, and I'm upset that I live this extremely restricted lifestyle, but I want all of you to be as restricted as I am, because if you don't take the same measures I take, then you're supporting the bad guy. And it's like, well, you're talking about like not buying groceries. Like you're talking about not buying food because you're upset about capitalism. I'm sorry, I'm not going to support that concept, and nor did anyone else chat. They went on a rampage one day on my YouTube channel where they attacked like 50 people in comments and just were going, I can't believe you would support this bullshit. Blah, 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 you're an idiot. Blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm banning you from the channel. Like, it's okay to have opinions, but it's not okay to like go on these diatribes about how other people are stupid for not taking your same boycott. It's like boycotts are very much the privilege of the elite. One percenters. Like the vast majority of people, like I hear a lot of times too, people will say things from the US. It'll be like, you shouldn't support Walmart because Walmart is a corrupt corporation. And it's like, it is a corrupt corporation, but the vast majority of people who are living paycheck to paycheck can't afford to buy groceries anywhere other than Walmart because they are forced into a life of abject poverty. And so their only option is to buy food from Walmart. Like, they don't have the luxury of buying food from someone other than Walmart, you know? So it's like, yeah. It's kind of like, I had a great discussion one time with, we have a couple of friends we know who were travel bloggers. I think one of them still is a travel blogger, but the other one is not. They worked together for a long time, like 9 or 10 years. They were together, traveling the world together. She was a vegan and he was not. And we had a great discussion with them in Mexico City. Oh, this has been 5 or 6 years ago now because they came to visit. And it was right after she had gone to Mongolia for like 3 months on this intensive, like, resident blogger person. I don't remember where they were from, Lou. I don't think it was Silverblade. I can't remember the name, to be honest with you. But anyway, this woman, she had gone to Mongolia as a vegan for this 3-month intense. I'm going to be on the ground as a photographer, blogger. I'm there for 3 months, and she got to Mongolia and all of a sudden was like, I can't be a vegan here because there are no vegan food options. Like, the entire country's diet is based off of horse flesh and horse meat, cow milk, horse milk. It's all agriculture, and it's all meat, like the entire. So she had to literally, to survive, to keep her body alive, she had to eat meat on a daily basis in order to survive because she could not acquire vegetarian options, vegan options. It was impossible. So she came away from that experience. It was a phenomenal discussion because she came away from that experience talking about how she suddenly realized that her veganism was 100% a privileged 1%. I come from a privileged, developed country where I have the luxury and the privilege of choosing to be a vegan. But people living in developing countries or people living in poverty-stricken areas do not have the luxury or the privilege of choosing not to eat meat. And she came away from that and was like, I can't. Because her entire reasoning for not eating meat was, well, I don't believe in the cruel and inhumane suffering of animals, and so I'm making this conscious decision to not eat meat because I don't support, meat is murder, the whole meat is murder concept. And then she goes to a country where, guess what? There is no almond butter, there's no peanut butter, there's no vitamin B12 supplements that she can take. She can't get kale, she can't get tofu, she can't get soybean milk, she can't get almond milk, she can't get any of the things that she's been buying for the 10 years that she's been vegan in these first world countries. And she came away from that with this completely changed perspective on, I'm not a vegan because it's the right thing to do. I'm a vegan because I have the luxury and privilege of making the choice to be vegan. Oh my God, I've been this judgmental shit for the last 10 years, looking down on people who choose to eat meat. And you suddenly realize that a lot of places in the world don't have the luxury of having almond butter and supplements, and some people have to eat meat.
Hey, you there. Got a minute? Hey, you there. I got a job that needs doing if you've got the time. It pays, of course.
Yeah, I published a video
I
on
need
it
help
yesterday,
finding
JK.
some lost supplies. Well, I'll be. That's them, all right. Can I offer you a finder's fee for asset recovery?
You absolutely can.
Great. And here is one standard miscellaneous type 2 short-term contractor one-time assistance fee. Pleasure doing business with you. Thanks again for bringing back those food cards.
All right. I mean, that's assuming, like, JK, that's assuming, because the post that New World made yesterday says our intent at the moment is to keep the game up to the end of 2026. Our intent. We hope to. We would like to. Not we will. We hope to keep the game open for until the end of 2026. We will at least give you 6 months heads up before we make any changes. It's not... There are no guarantees that it's going to last another 12 months. It could last 2 years. It could last 6 months. We just don't know at this point. But it's the Anthem situation. But it's done. It's the exact same thing that happened to Anthem. The people who want to play the single-player content will play it, have fun with it, and then we'll move on to other things. The MMO is dead as of yesterday. No one's going to continue to invest time in the MMO portion of that game when they know that all their progress is going to be wiped at some point. Like, there's no point to keep going. Now, from a single-player perspective, there's still plenty of enjoyment to get out of it. But, yeah. It's dead, Jim. No, I think it's definitely, and I said that in my video last night, I definitely think it is still worth playing for anybody who wants to get 200 to 300 hours of enjoyment out of it. It's a great game. The servers are going to be online for at least 6 months. Totally worth the time to continue to play it, especially if you just recently started. Nothing wrong with that. The start screen in this game is awesome, and I'm not paying attention to many mines.
Bodily trauma soon.
Jesus. Fucking landmines everywhere, man. I've got to get over there. Probably get wrecked going across here with more landmines. Alright, gotta eat a bunch of food now because I... Landlines. No, you cannot play it without the server. It's an always online game. But yeah, it'll, you know, Anthem continued to play. Anthem was still online for like 2 or 3 more years. And I went back and played Anthem a couple more times over the years and had fun doing so. Anthem was a great game. Oh no, they got me. I'm gonna load game. I don't want to waste a trauma kit. Anthem was a great game, and I went back a couple times over the years and played it. The single player storyline was great, like 12 to 15 hours of awesome, fully mocapped, fully voiced, absolutely cinematic gameplay. Like, Anthem was great, and I highly recommended it. Even I recommended it 2 times. I did a video each year for the years that it was past its launch, and I told people, go play it. It's like $4, $5. It was on Game Pass at one point. It's like, it's free to play. Go forth and enjoy it, even if you haven't, because it doesn't matter that the game is in maintenance mode. There's 12, 15 hours of amazing single player storyline to play there. Why wouldn't you go do that for free if it's on Xbox, or for like, $2 or $3 if you're looking for a game where you can just get a quick weekend of XP, weekend of fun out of it. Like, I always think it's a little silly of people to just throw things to the wayside just because it's been like canceled. I mean, yeah, it sucks it's been canceled, but you can still get enjoyment out of it. There's no reason to throw it to the curb entirely. Outer Worlds 2 will be on Game Pass today. Later today. I believe 10 a.m. Pacific. Oh, I doubt they have the budget to take over it. The company that rebooted Defiance. Because Defiance had been offline and dead for like 10 years. New World being still newish with an active player base. If someone's going to take that over, they're going to need a serious investment to buy that off of Amazon. Arc Raiders is going to have AI voice acting, and some people are boycotting it. They should. I think AI has a place in game development for sure. I definitely think AI has a place in game development, but not for like, I don't know. There are moments when I think that AI voice acting could be good. Here's a good example of when AI voice acting could be acceptable. So last night, if you haven't watched, I went and watched the Solasta 2 did a live stream yesterday. And in that video, they were talking about some of the procedural generation that they've added to the game. And one of the areas, because their game is fully voiced by actors, and they talked about how one of the procedurally generated events that they have is in a D&D campaign, you'll often have events. You'll be running through the forest, and you'll roll for a random encounter, right? And you'll have a random encounter pop up. And a lot of those random encounters are not combat. They are events where it's like, you stumble upon the corpse of a blah. You stumble upon an encampment of gnomes. You stumble upon the remains of a caravan. These types of events, right? And those types of events, I would be 100% okay with AI being used to create the procedural dialogue and to create procedurally generated voiceovers to just give me a read-through of what's on screen, right? Not everyone is going to agree with me on that. Some people are going to say, no, that still needs to be voiced by a person. From my perspective, if the main characters are voiced by real human beings, and all of the quests are voiced by main human beings, and all the cutscenes, and all those use real, actual people, I would have no problem with, like, procedurally generated events having AI be used, because it's filler content. It's not the main stuff. It's just fluff. It's just filler. It's like the random events. If you want to use AI to spawn random events in the game, I am totally okay with using AI for those texts and those voices. But everything else should be humans. So I don't know how Arc Raiders is planning on using AI voice acting. But when I played the beta of Arc Raiders, all of the main characters are voiced. So I don't know what they plan on doing. But I think moving forward, it's like, you know, you would need to boycotting a game because it uses AI. What? Well, how are they using AI? Like, are they using AI for everything? Are they just using AI for little things? Like, how is the AI being used? The boycott thing, again, is tricky because it's like, does it impact? Like, because I'll tell you what, I use AI every single day. Every single day I use AI. And I sure as shit can't justify boycotting something just because it uses AI in some way, shape, or form. Here's how I use AI. As an example, every single day when I finish my streams, I go away and I have marked things down in my notebook with timestamps. And then I go away from my streams and I say, that's a short. And I go to Twitch and I go into the Twitch editor and I clip that 1.5 minute section of video out and I export it, download it to my PC. I then put that into Filmora, which is my video editing software, and I tell the AI, give me subtitles. And the AI scans the dialogue and adds subtitles to the video, captions, so that I don't have to manually transcribe that shit. Now, for the people who are anti-AI, they're going to say that I'm stealing someone's job. And I'm like, I'm the person doing the job. Like, so I'm stealing my own job? How does that work? Like, I'm the one who would be doing that work. I'm the one who normally would have to transcribe that and type the subtitles. How the fuck am I stealing my own work if I'm using AI to simplify a task that normally would take me 20 minutes? Because it would take me 20, 30 minutes to listen to myself and type the dialogue and then make sure that the subtitles are in the right place and put the captions in the right place and line it all up with all of the right places, and now AI can do that all for me as part of my annual subscription. Why the fuck would I not use AI? You know what else AI does? AI automatically dubs my YouTube content on my uploaded videos into the native language of any user around the world. I would otherwise have to pay for someone to do that and find the right people, and like, I'm okay with AI doing lots of different things. I'm not against AI at all. I think there are instances where AI is an extremely valuable tool, and if we want to get to the place where we get to the Star Trek utopia, computer, do this, computer, Earl Grey, hot, computer, make me a beverage, make me a plate of food. Computer, tell me this. Computer, do this. Like, if we want to get to that future, then we accept that AI is part of that evolution. So that's another good example, Ricardo. If a game has voice acting for every single item in the game, and there are hundreds of items, what happens further down the line when they introduce more items in the game, or if the actor they used originally was no longer available? Like, that's a perfect example of when AI is a great tool to be able to do something simple like read off the dialogue of items. Like, I think it's great. Continue using actors for main roles, for the actual dialogue of the game and the characters and etc. Motion, performance capture, all that shit. But for little things like reading lines of text off of the item and stuff, I'm okay with that being AI. Like I don't need everything. So that's the thing, is like people will say things like, "Well, we're going to have to just ban all AI games." And it's like, "We will? Why?" Like I get boycotting like completely AI games. I can understand boycotting those. Like if a game comes out and says this is an AI, a game created by AI or principally created by AI, I think that's, you know, but I think that there are instances where we're just going to have to analyze. It's tricky. It's also the evolution of our species. And I'm not someone who is against the evolution of our species. I want us to get to the Star Trek timeline. I want us to be able to have computer do this thing for me. I want that. And we're never going to have that if we're stuck in this idea of everything needs to be analog. Jesus, there's a lot of fucking... I probably better renew the save. There's a ton of mines in here. You boycott crap games. That's definitely... Yeah. Yeah, Destiny 2 had to deal with that exactly because Lance died, and then Gina Torres doesn't necessarily want to do that kind of stuff anymore. She's unavailable. Nathan's super busy. He can't be available. What do you do when the actors just aren't available anymore? Or they're not around. They died. Like, and that's part of what companies are wanting to do with using an actor's likeness with AI, is they're wanting to, in those cases, be able to use AI to replicate. So like Lance has passed on, but we're still producing 4 more DLCs over the next 10 years. We need to be able to replicate that voice. Do you find another voice actor who sounds just like him, or do you just use AI to replicate him? It's a much easier solution to just use AI to replicate him, and probably more affordable in the long run, but are you taking someone's work? I mean, dude, it's not an easy solution. It's not something that's so cut and dry as some people want it to be. Shit, I don't have my time.
With agents' health needs.
Maintaining perfection. You court slow, Commander. Clear and protect us. Anyway, ready to hit the next one?
Yeah, but every company says that. Like Dune Awakening says the same thing. We've got a 10-year plan. Every company worth their salt has a 10-year plan when they launch a game. Every company does. By the way, I loved last night doing the... If you haven't watched it yet, go watch my stream last night. It was a developer deep dive with the guys from Solasta 2, and they were very upfront. They're like, because people were asking about what are the future plans, and they were like, well, we have lots of ideas, but it doesn't mean we'll ever implement them. It just depends on how the game sells. Like right now, we're focused on early access to 1.0 and getting the 1.0 release out the door. We did 4 DLCs for the first game, Solasta 1. Can we do 4 DLCs for Solasta 2? We don't know. It depends on the audience. Does the game sell well? if the game sells well, then obviously we would do DLCs, but we're not going to commit ourselves to having DLCs before we've even launched the 1.0 game into the wild. And I was like, God, it's so refreshing. And they are a super cool team. I respect everything Tactical Adventures are doing. They said last night we're a team of 35 people. Y'all just need to go watch the video. It's like an hour and a half. We watched the dev stream last night. Hour and a half long. Go watch it. It's fucking amazing. Huge respect for that team of just being upfront about, hey, we're 35 people. Like, there's only so much we can do. Like, one of the reasons they were talking about getting into procedural generation is because it's like, in the first game, we could only do so much with these things because we only have 35 people on the team. Artists can only produce so much. So at some point, you have to say, well, if we want to be able to make the game bigger, we have to rely on procedural generation. And somebody will sit there and go be like, procedural generation? That's AI. You're stealing someone's work. You know, you're stealing work from world builders and all this other stuff. And it's like, God damn, the ignorance of some people out there is just ridiculous. Yeah, 10-year plan. Year 1, make money. Year 2, make money. Year 3, make money. Hopefully. Because I can totally be, you know, I've launched 2 game studios, and I can tell you right now that shit never works the way you want it to work, ever. Is the MMO studio that I founded doing well? No. Why is it not doing well? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, and I can't talk about a lot of them for legal reasons. But it requires competent people, first and foremost, and then it also requires that the market is in the right place at the right time. It requires so many different factors. It's not nearly as easy as some people think it is to just make a game and publish a game. It's just not. Well, yeah, he loved the first one too, Hector. Babylonia loves like Fallout, the Outer Worlds, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a given that he would really like this game. Yeah, Tiff, the next several years are going to be crazy. Many. EA has already said that they're moving towards AI games. For sure. I must have missed your whole analogy, metaphor, Gray.
Engaging combat protocols.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Threat camp have been eliminated.
Oh, that one. If you have 1,000 square holes and one circle hole, a square is bound to try to go into the circle hole. Yes. I was like, what? That was so 30 minutes ago, sir. My brain doesn't go back that far.
Confronting threat.
guys are shooting, dude, way down the line. Well. I heard it. Where did that mine go? There's a collider there that got in my way. What are we shooting at? It's not letting me save.
Ready to take the heat off, Commander. Just say when. Third kid. Don't know about you, but I feel downright productive.
Well, we will in a minute. Something's shooting at you guys. Alright, now we can save. It's more complicated than that. It's not a bad faith argument. If you're going to be combative, DM Chromie, you can fuck off back to some other hole that you crawled out of. Yeah, I don't appreciate the combative stance you're taking right now in my chat. We're having a discussion. We're not sitting here to be dicks to each other. It's a complicated situation. That's the reason why there's lots of negotiations happening between all these different companies. Because AI is complicated, and it's not an easy solution. Because there are definitely examples of when you're going to want to use AI. Not necessarily. I mean, think about it this way, too. It's like, if you can find an actor to replace Lance, that's good, right? If you can find an actor to replace Lance Reddick in the role that he played in Destiny 2, that's great. However, the chances of finding someone are much less than just getting AI to replace. And if the estate is fine with the company continuing to use the likeness and or Lance gave his permission before he passed, then why not? If the estate is okay with it. If the estate is okay and or the actor was okay with it, then there's nothing to worry about. The issue is when companies want to use AI to replace an actor's likeness or etc. without their permission. A good example of this would be the lawsuit that happened for Back to the Future 2, because they used an actor's likeness. Correct, Hector. If Lance's family is fine with it, that's the only opinion that matters, not some random schmuck on the internet who's like, AI is bad, we should never use AI. It's like, it's not that cut and dry. It's never as cut and dry as the keyboard warriors want it to be. Somebody gets an opinion on their mom's computer down in the basement, and they think suddenly that there's some sort of messiah to the masses on a subject. No, it's not how this works. It's why the negotiations are ongoing. It's complicated. That's part of what the writers' strikes and actors' strikes over the past couple of years have been focused on, is how big companies want to use AI to replace all sorts of actors and writers are coming back and saying, well, no, we can't do that, but there is a place for AI. We just have to figure out how to make it all work, and that's what negotiations are all about. And that's what adults do. Adults sit down and have adult conversations. They don't just make ranty, pissy comments about something's bad. It's bad. I don't like it. Therefore, we shouldn't use it. It's not how this works. We sit down, we negotiate, we look at all the angles, we discuss, we find out the ways that we can potentially benefit from AI, and we blend it with what we're doing. Correct. Also, yes, exactly. Also, anyone on our level who thinks they can dictate what a multi-billion-dollar company is going to do, good luck with that. You're just some random schmuck. Like, I'm just some random schmuck. I love how someone tried to insult me by saying, you're just a small streamer. You don't have anything important to say. You're right, I don't. In the conversation of multi-billion-dollar corporations, I don't have an important voice at all. I'm just some schmuck on planet Earth. That's exactly right. However, I can have a meaningful, valuable conversation with my community members. And that's what I'm doing right now. We're having a meaningful, valuable conversation with our community across Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. Reform Captain Ashton. Where was that person at? Captain Ashton. That's right. Gray has been using AI to help write a novel and do world building. Like, that's a perfect example of AI. That's the thing I was talking about earlier. Like, if I'm using AI to do my own transcriptions so that I don't have to do the transcriptions anymore, the argument that all AI is bad is incorrect, because I'm using AI to make my job easier. I don't have to do that anymore. I can now automate a process that previously I had to manually do. Duh, I'm going to be using AI. You know what AI also helps me do? It helps me come up with YouTube titles. Helps me write rough draft scripts, excuse me. AI does a lot of really cool stuff for me in my day-to-day. I'm also really interested in the new features that are coming to Twitch and YouTube, which are going to allow me to do this. Clip that. I'm going to be able to say, clip that, and Twitch and YouTube are going to automatically clip that moment, like a minute. You'll set parameters. So like from the moment I say clip that, it's going to record like a 1 minute segment, or it's going to record the previous 60 seconds. That's amazing use of AI. Clip that. Because you know what? I don't have to go back and clip that shit manually anymore. Because right now I have to timestamp everything here in my fucking notebook. And then I have to take the time at the end of my streams to go back and manually clip all those moments. Now, once those tools get implemented, which are coming over the next few months to both Twitch and YouTube, I will be able to sit here and say, clip that. And it's going to immediately clip that clip and save it for me. And then I can just download it, add my subtitles, and be good to go. And the tools that YouTube are putting in place are going to be automatically adding subtitles to things, so that pretty soon I won't even have to manually download the clip anymore and add my own subtitles to it. It's going to automatically add AI subtitles to it as well. So it's like AI is a brilliant tool in a lot of different areas. A lot of different areas. Anyone who doesn't understand that is just being ignorant about the subject. and
You're
refusing
back.
to educate
I was
themselves.
beginning to wonder if you'd gotten buried in a snowdrift. Did you kill those yay-saying bootlickers good?
I did. I killed them extremely good.
Funny. I'm on the clock, so I can't laugh. I'll laugh in my off hours. Here's your reward. Now get along. I'm as likely to be buried alive by my paperwork as the snow outside.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. So back in the day, Tiff, if you go back about 15 years ago, I used to make websites. Back when WordPress was still a big deal, and we started getting like places like Theme Forest and stuff, and knowing PHP, because I had to build my own websites when I first got going in the travel space. I learned how to do WordPress websites, and then as a thing, I would make websites. And I didn't do it very often. I'd maybe have 3 to 5 clients a year who would come to me and be like, "Hey, can you build me a website?" And I'd be like, "Sure, I can put together your website." And I would go buy them a WordPress theme, and I would spend the time to put the WordPress theme on their website, and I would charge $3,000 to $5,000 to do that. And it'd be a week of my time at most, and I'd make an extra few $1,000s per year doing that. There's no need for that anymore because AI can build a website for you, and there's no need for anybody to do any of that shit anymore. I actually had somebody reach out to me. It's a family member who I haven't talked to in years, and they reached out to me last night, and I haven't answered them yet. But they were like, "Hey, what are you going to charge? What do you charge to build a website?" Because they asked me 8 or 10 years ago if I could build them a website, and I gave them a quote, and they were like, "That's too expensive," and I went, "Not my problem." And they reached out, and I haven't answered them yet, but my answer is going to be, I don't. You don't need me to do that. You could get AI to do it for you. And if you don't want to use AI to do it, then you need to just pay someone like $5,000 because, website developers still do exist, but it still costs money. It's like. How does that work? Because I've got a quest. I've got a bounty. I see. Buckshot Bill. Where was he at? Oh, I dinged. I dinged and I didn't even know it. Oh, we're taking Grim Visage, baby. I should say. Gotta find Buckshot Bill. Use the earrings you found, but I have to have the ex-convict background and more earrings. That's the second of those that I've found, which is related to the combo. Oh, hang on, I gotta go. I'll be right back. Alright. I heard Chris getting up, so I had to go say good morning and update her on all the cats and everything else. Okay. Don't see anybody at the moment. Oh, yeah, I do. They heard it, but they didn't see it. Oh, that's all of them now. Oh, hello.
take care of him, Commander.
Engaging hostile life forms.
This is our target. Got him. I'll give you another example of on the conversation we were having earlier about a good example of a place where AI is totally acceptable is like you know, in like Cyberpunk 2077. What the hell? That's like a rocket. Like Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, that's Cyberpunk 2077 also Fallout 4, I think, Starfield, any game that has like a Radiant quest system where it has like a terminal or something that spits out, like, they have a pre-generated set of conditions and then it randomizes those conditions to create Radiant quests, which are these repeatable quests that never end. Like, you can always get more quests in the Radiant system. They're just repeatable fetch quests, right? That's a great, like, AI. That's a version of AI that's already been implemented, even though it's not technically AI, because what that's doing is it's got predetermined conditions that it's using, and it's just spawning out of those, 20 conditions or whatever. But by using true AI, you can create even more conditions and even more complex radiant quests. I think that's a perfect example of when AI can be used to create really cool, like, I would happily, if you could create really good, radiant quests in like Cyberpunk, Starfield and stuff, that gives people more reasons to play, more time in game. Nothing wrong with that. But you're taking work away from writers. No, you're not, because guess what? You still need someone to oversee the creation of that content and make sure that the AI is doing its job right. So it's just you're reducing the amount of people who are required to work on something. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're just refining the process. I said this in a different video. Like, if you're a writer and you want to remain relevant as a writer in 2026 moving forward, you need to learn how to use AI. Because ChatGPT is going to do a lot of the shit that used to require 10 different writers to do. Good example is what Gray is doing right now, using ChatGPT to help with the world building of his novel. Let's expound that out a little bit more, and let's say that I am writing a TV show for a network, and previously I would need a team of writers, 20 people in a room sitting down brainstorming ideas to come up with episodes for our sitcom, right? Now, one person who knows how to use ChatGPT can sit down and use ChatGPT to come up with the ideas that you would previously need 20 different people sitting around a table to come up with. That is not eliminating jobs, that is refining the process and making it better and easier and faster to do something. If I don't need 20 people to do something that and one person can do, that's smart business. Like, so if I'm the showrunner, great, I'm gonna find the person who figured out how to adapt. It's no different than the people back in the day who used to manually write scrolls, and they manually wrote things. The printing press came along. All of those people who manually wrote things were out of business because of the printing press. Oh no, the printing press is this horrible machine. It's stealing jobs. It's taking away. It's ruining the economy. Are you fucking kidding me? The evolution of the species, and you guys are fighting against it? That's the printing press. The printing press is AI. And my power just went out. I'm on battery right now. We're going to see if it comes back really quick. If it doesn't, we'll need to wrap the stream right here because the power just went out in the house. But I have all my modems and stuff plugged in, so... Well, considering the power just went out, guys, I do need to wrap up here, and because it didn't come back right away, so it may be out for a few... Oh, no, it's back. We're good. I think we're good. I'm going to double check my... Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I know. But I have all my stuff plugged in. Boom. I'm glad I bought that UPS device. That right there, by the way, guys, I didn't buy a UPS device until like a couple months back, and I'm so glad I have it now, because now it's like, oh, power went out, wait 90 seconds. If it doesn't come back, shut everything down, go on about my day. Or if it comes back, we're good to go, and I just keep streaming. Unless, of course, the internet went out downtown. Like if the whole town lost power, then the whole stream just probably got shut down. But I think we're still good to go. You'll tell me in a minute, because if the internet went down, I won't know for a couple more moments. If the internet went down downtown. Anyway, yeah, go back to chiseling in stone. Where do I turn in the bounties? Over here. Alright, let's see. Get back to this. Maybe. Thanks for joining as a channel member, Flying Turtle. Appreciate it over on YouTube. Anyway, I get interrupted on my rant. But you get it. You get what I'm talking about. You get what I'm laying down. Like, people ranting about the printing press 250 years ago, whenever it was, are the same people ranting about AI right now. Yeah, the New World situation is shitty, but it's more shitty for the developers than it is for us as players. And I mean, everybody will eventually find jobs. That's every industry suffers layoffs. It's not unique to the game industry. We're not going to do that quest right now. We're going to go do something else. I have a faction quest that I can go do. Correct. Me not being able to play the game is not the same thing as someone losing their job. Exactly that.
Short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time.
There's absolutely time for companion quests.
Much obliged. The sooner...
The structure in the distance matches the description of the interstitial reconfiguration center. The rift modulator should lie within. Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
Well, let's just see if we can get to anything reasonably close. For these side quests. Break the strike. That's my companion quest. Yeah, so we need to get north. If I can, my goodness. It's a good tool in the right hands, correct. And it is all about, you know, we control the parameters. And if you're going to be... If you as a worker want to be someone who remains relevant in the modern era, you have to learn how to utilize AI. You have to learn how to use AI. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And it's like the people who refused to adapt to the printing press. If you're not going to adapt to the printing press, then you're going to get left behind because your scroll writing days are over.
Wait, on your command.
Oh, the robots want to kill us all the way from down here.
Fortifying team.
Oh, where'd you run off to, bitch? Don't let me shoot your weak points. You didn't delete it.
Knew you had my back.
Is there like an elevator to get down off of this thing? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. I literally died from a like 3 meter drop. Come on, that was like 10 feet. Little excessive on the fall damage there. Alright, let's figure out how I'm supposed to actually get down from here. There must be elevators or something. That's literally nothing. Oh shit, we got a whole bunch. Oh my goodness, they're coming from everywhere. Oh, I'm out of ammo. That's not. Oh, I see scrap. There's pools of something they're spawning. Your reckless demeanor makes you an easy target for vendors. Pass.
Something up.
I don't pray and spray. What are you talking about? I'm out of ammo for the plasma rifle, though. Which means we should switch over to... Let's do the plasma pistol. Haven't used it a lot. Should have some ammo for it.
Attack strategies.
Thank God there's no more landmines here. Get the big boss down. Where'd it go? There it is. Big boss.
Just get the signal. Knew you had my back.
Salamandretta. I don't know. I always look at myself, by the way, as like the perfect poster child of someone who I could have remained in the previous industry, and I would probably, yeah, it wouldn't have been good. Like, I made a conscious decision to evolve because I only knew, I grew up on a farm. I grew up on a dairy farm and I worked construction. I never finished high school. I never went to college. The only thing I knew how to do, because I grew up in the pre-internet era, was work for my family. So I worked with my dad and my uncles, and I hated every minute of it. And when 9/11 happened, the economy in the US went absolutely, the housing market just died. So I went from making like $100,000 a year plus having 2 employees all through my 20s to there being no work. I went from $100,000 a year and 2 employees to no work, making barely made $32,000 in 2007. So my income dropped by 70%, and I had to fire my 2 employees. There was no work, literally no work. I went from 100,000 to 30,000. So I lost 70% of my income in 1 year. Couldn't afford to pay my employees anymore, so I had to fire my employees. And I was sitting there, it was the like November, and I had a contract that I had signed a letter of intent on that was going to start in like March when the snow was gone. We were supposed to start. And then I found out the day I was supposed to go sign the final paperwork, I found out that the owners had behind my back went and signed a contract with a different company who was willing to do the job for $30,000 less than what I was going to charge. Um, so I said I was going to charge $70,000 for the job. A company came in and said, well, we'll do it for $40,000 and we'll do it in half the time because they were a crew of illegal immigrants working and whatever. It doesn't matter. So I saw that and I lost that contract. I was like, if I take this to court to fight it, because I had a signed letter of intent, I was like, if I take this to court and fight it, I'm going to spend a minimum of $10,000 in legal fees. Minimum. And then I'm going to have to spend the next 2 years in court trying to get these people to pay me the $70,000 that they owe me. And it's going to cost me a lot more than $10,000. It's probably going to cost me more like $20,000 to fight this in court. Meanwhile, I'm not going to be able to do any work because I'm going to be stuck in court the whole time. Is it worth it? And I said it's not worth it. So what did I do? I sold my tools. I sold my truck. My girlfriend at the time was from Bulgaria. She had an apartment in Bulgaria, and I said, let's just leave. And so we went back to her home country, and I literally grabbed a laptop and I said, I'm going to finally take my shot at being a writer because the internet is now widely available. And I sat down and wrote a short story while we were on a ski trip. The whole family was skiing, and I just sat in the hotel room and wrote a short story, sent it to a publication. The first publication I sent it to bought it, and I said, fuck yeah, this is what I've always wanted to do. And I just took that opportunity and I ran with it. And I established myself as a writer with the power of the internet. And had I continued to stay in the US and like try to figure out how to work in the construction industry and like make it work, trying to deal with you evolve or you die, is what it comes down to. And I've always chosen to evolve, which is why since 2007 I taught myself. In 2008 I had to learn how to code. I had to learn how to build WordPress websites. I had to learn how to navigate social media. I had to learn how to do all that stuff. Then I had to learn how to do social media. So that became learning how to do video editing. That became learning how to use Photoshop. That became getting a DSLR camera and learning how to use Lightroom and do photo editing. That became getting a drone and learning how to do drone photography and drone videography and learning how to use all of those tools and finding clients through word of mouth by doing good projects on other things, but continually evolving, getting into game development and learning how to use Unity, and then learning how to use Unreal, and learning how to do VFX, and teaching myself how to do VFX in a video game, learning how to do programming and engineering, learning how to use blueprints in Unreal. These days, the when I started off using video editing software, I was using Sony Vegas. I don't even remember what version I started on. But I switched to Filmora maybe 3 years ago because it was way easier and it's drag and drop. So now I use a completely different tool than what I was using 3 or 4 years ago. If you're going to be a productive member of society for as long as you possibly can, you must evolve with the times or you will just not eat. And I like to eat. I've got a belly on me. I like good food. I like having air conditioning. I like having high-speed internet. I like having an Xbox and a PlayStation and multiple monitors, and I like my creature comforts. So it's like, do I want to eat? Yes. Do I want to survive? Not just survive, do I want to thrive? Yes. So what did I do? I fucking learned how to evolve. And AI is just the next evolution of that, like embracing AI and Canva and etc. No, I have never been afraid of evolving, not once. But I've also always been self-employed. There have been 2 times in my life that I have worked for someone else as an employee. Once was when I was 16 years old. I worked for my very first ever job for someone else was working at McDonald's. Walmart was the first. Walmart, and then I was there for maybe 2-3 months. That didn't work out. I went and worked Wendy's and McDonald's. I worked as a cashier at McDonald's in the drive-thru, and I worked as a burger flipper at Wendy's. And those jobs were summer jobs when I was like 16 years old or so. Other than that, about 5 years ago, there was a brief period I'd been working for a startup company. I started off as their consultant. Then they brought me in to actually manage their social media, and then a year later they brought me on as an actual salaried employee for a year-long period of time. That was about 5 years ago. And then when they got bought out by investors, the investors wanted to go find somebody else. They wanted somebody female and of color to be the marketing head, not a old white dude. And so I got the boot, and when I got the boot from the startup, I said, fuck all this, I'm going to go do my own shit, and I started my YouTube channel, and the rest is history. And I've been full-time on this for almost 4 years now. But other than those two, like the summer of like 1996 into 1997, when I worked then for someone else, and then, a few years ago having a salary for 1 year. Apart from that, I have always been freelance. I have always been freelance. I may have told this story at one point, but like when I was working construction, do you know how I got work? I would print up 3,000 business cards. I would go to the phone book back when phone books were a thing before the internet, and I would open up the phone book and I would look for carpet shops, and I would call every single carpet shop. Hi, my name is, I do this. I know you guys probably have your own crew, but if you ever have need of someone to do some extra work on the weekend, I am available. And you call them every week. Hey, this is Tim again. Just checking in. You got any extra work? 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 That's step one. Step two. Every Saturday and Sunday when I wasn't working, or any day that I wasn't working, I'm in my truck driving up and down the Front Range of Colorado, up and down the mountains, and I'm looking along the interstate for construction sites. I see a construction site, I drive to the construction site. I walk up to the job trailer, I tap on the door. Hi, is this the general contractor's office? Hi, my name is Tim. Here's my business cards. If you ever need somebody to pick up slack or you've got some extra jobs on the weekend, happy to help. Call that person back every single week. Sunday rolls around, nobody's on the job site, no problem. Take a hammer tacker, take my business cards, walk around the job sites, hammer tack my business cards up on all of the framing of the buildings, so that when people get to work on Monday morning, there's a business card tacked. One of the 100 business cards that I've handed out is going to be someone go, oh, this guy does ceramic tile and natural stone and flooring? I need a guy to do flooring at my sister's house this weekend. Let me give him a call. You hustle. You go look for work. When Chris and I were establishing ourselves in Cancun with the travel brand, we printed up 3,000 business cards, we got on our bicycles, and we rode around town for a month, and we handed out business cards to every restaurant, tour agency, hotel, anybody who would talk to us. We would offer photography services, videography services. And then my assistant, who lived with us at the time, he and I went on a follow-up the next month, and we called every single one of those businesses back. And out of 3,000 businesses, we ended up landing enough work for the next 3 years. So we worked really hard for 2 months, drummed up enough business for 3 years of clients, and that also established my public speaking career. Because once I started doing that, I got invited to do a course at a hotel to teach this hotel chain how to do social media. That got me invited to do an event for a group of hotels who were wanting to learn how to do social media. That got me in the local newspaper, which then invited me to do a presentation for the city on social media and networking, which got me in front page on the newspaper in Cancun. And then that got me into the next international travel conference that did an event in Cancun. And that got me onto the international field doing travel conferences all around the world with Chris as a public speaker on travel and marketing. And so no, I have never been afraid of evolving. If you want to eat, you fucking embrace it. Like, that's just, it's what it is. I am flexing now, yeah. Some of you have heard the story before. I'll shut up before somebody calls me pirate software for bragging about my time at Blizzard. All you ever do is brag about your fucking life, man.
Engaging hostile weapons.
Excuse me. Oh, we got a rocket launcher from somewhere. I'm assuming this dude up here. How's the game going? It's miserable. I hate it. I'm on my like 10th stream because I can't stand the game. It's the most horrible thing I've ever played. I'm miserable. I stream these games because I hate them. I don't stream them because I love them. I don't stream video games because I love my job. I stream video games because I hate all video games. That's why I stream them. Yep. You can go watch my review on YouTube for this game, and you'll hear me talk about it. But don't pay that in mind. I'm live because I hate it, and I'm miserable doing this. This is going the opposite direction of where I need to go. I play games that you don't have to. That's exactly right. Matter of fact, doesn't that one guy do a series like I played so that you don't have to? Shit, he did not die very quickly with that. Shit, he is down. Which one is shooting me? You're gonna get me, aren't you? Can't believe I survived that.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Sorry.
Please try and later.
Motherfucker, get back here. Alright, he died. The playthrough of so the playthrough of 76. It isn't. I'm gonna make a comment really quick. Carson says, "Was the playthrough of 76 coming soon or already happened? I can never tell when I see shorts on mobile whether it's New World." Sure you can. Shorts have a date attached to them, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. So yes, you can tell when shorts are published. All you got to do is do some due diligence, and you can tell when something has been published. The longer answer is that it's coming soon. It's, as I mentioned, starting in November. We're not in November yet. So you failed on 2 due diligence checks, sir. Your observation skills suck, Carson. Try harder. Do better. But yes, the answer to that is it's coming soon. In November. But I'm sorry. I gotta call out stuff like that, because I don't let people be stupid on my stream. Don't be stupid. Of course you can tell when something's been published. It has a date attached to it. Jesus. Not only that, but it's linked to the video. It's linked to the long form video. No! You go back to school, sir. Go back to school. Do better. How the fuck did you graduate? Sorry, not sorry. I'm being exaggerative for the sake of entertainment, but also, come on.
You remember that?
Error. Memory is not thorough.
You're gonna go make me open it up and show you the timestamp, aren't you?
All right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
Ah! That's right, Gray. I play games that suck so that I take the pain for you. I'm like the Jesus Christ of gaming. Jesus Christ pose.
Your arrival cannot be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
For any subject, visiting the matriarch and first sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of anti-social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are the least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire.
You gotta be able to dish it out.
Level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from
you gotta
the public.
be able to dish it out and take
Who knows
it, Carson.
what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the
You're
matriarch
right. You
was the
should have
genius
made me
she's
more of a
purported to be,
priority.
the
You're
skip
damn
draft cannot be
straight.
the entirety
I
of her
should be your
inventions.
priority. I have 3 degrees. I've been busy moving countries and only glanced at the title. It's all good. But I gotta, you know. If you can't tame some good-natured ribbon, man. I give my brother way more shit than you just got right now. You gotta be able to chuckle and be like, you know, right? You know what? He's right. I should have looked. God damn it. He's right. Shake it off, sir. Shake it off. That's right. It's all Ren all the time, 24 hours a day.
Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people.
Speaking of which, I have not gone and said good morning to my grandniece yet, and she's been up for about 15 minutes. You guys got me sidetracked. I gotta go say hi to her. Since we're talking on daughters, I'll be right back. I have somewhere, Carson. I dabbled with Fallout 76 last year when the first season of the show was on Amazon. So I know I have like a first impressions video and a few playthroughs. We only did like the first 15 levels last year. And then I had other projects. So there is some stuff from last year on Fallout 76. And I mean, not that much has changed. I mean, well, that's not technically true. They added ghouls and a DLC, and they've got a second DLC coming in December. So there have been quite a few story of it. But I haven't done any hands-on time with Fallout 76 since last year. And it was only like the first 15 levels. And then the previous time I played with Maduros was only like 15, 20 levels as well. So I've never actually sunk my teeth in. Therefore, the Fallout 76 playthrough, which is starting as soon as I finish up this game. Like today, the schedule is Outer Worlds 2 for a little bit this morning, and then this afternoon I've got a key for Painkiller from Saber Interactive, so I'm going to go play Painkiller this afternoon, and then probably we'll balance those two over the next couple of days. And then I'm going to be hopping back once I finish, because Painkiller's short. It's like 5 to 6, maybe 8 hours long. That'll be 2-3 streams. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to get back into Starfield, finish up the Watchtower DLC while simultaneously playing this. And then once I'm done with the Watchtower DLC for Starfield, I will start the Fallout 76 playthrough. And also the Elder Scrolls Online playthrough. Those are going to be the two priorities for November moving forward. Oh, and also there's a massive Enshrouded update happening in November. But I'm more interested, the Voyagers of Nera has an update coming in November, and once the Voyagers of Nera update happens, I'm probably going to start a new character from scratch and see what those changes feel like, because that was a really fun little early access game. And then next year, at some point, we're going to be getting into the Solasta 2 early access, but they don't have a release date for that quite yet. They said they're going to do another live stream in December. So I'm going to keep myself busy for the most part. November, December is going to be Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. And then probably in December-ish, I would like to do a Cyberpunk 2077 replay. And in January, I would like to do a KCD2 replay. Theoretically.
Reaching the vaults will be no simple task. There are likely to be unforeseen security measures to contend with, though hopefully nothing too obstructive. We must first gain entry to the security room, however. Once there, I should be able to access more information about the lower levels layout and potential hazards.
Let's do it.
Let's not delay then. After you.
Audra, you are hot.
You go ahead inside with Zen.
I'd like to do more missions with you, darling. Alright. Woo! Yeah, in-game had nothing for me in New World. Hector, where is our Lord Ren, you ask? He is everywhere, under every rock, in every breath of wind.
The less attention we draw, the better.
Oh, Jesus. Oh!
There weren't supposed to be visitors today. That Sentinel and Docent are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
I saw
You head
this
back
in
here.
an
The
early
commander and
video
I'll take
that
care of this.
Obsidian did
Gladly.
during the
I'll rejoin you
playthrough
once
at
the path is
Gamescom.
on.
Because they got access to this golden shroud of the first sovereign piece of armor.
That's clear.
Yeah, we need the golden shroud display case key. We should do a hard save here. Oh my, this is like a museum. Recipes uranium grenade. I don't own that yet, so let's buy it. Let's sell all junk. Abandon the illness of corporatism. None will suffer the pleasure of unseen lords, and all will thrive. Well, that didn't work very good for you, did it, Matriarch? Skip drive performance. I'm totally taking hacking and engineering for my next playthrough because there's been so many terminals that just make me cringe because I can't do anything with them. Perfected automechanicals. The Order is serving as protector at scientific help meets. So at one point in time, they appeared to all kind of serve together under the matriarch, but... Alright, they're down there doing that.
Not now.
Alright, well I can't hack that. This panel is for testing automated security functions. Should never be activated while guests are near the caskets. These rules may not apply if an extra excuse becomes necessary during a tour. Well, I can't do anything with it because I don't have hack in the first place. So I'm not doing anything with that. You know what we probably are going to need is our mask. Nope. There. This door. That's right, Deeks. Down on your knee. No, it's just a personal preference. Dribrom, like I chose lock picking because I prefer to be able to get into like chests and stuff. But I definitely, because I play roleplay playthroughs anyway, I don't like to have like, you can't really do all-in-one playthroughs. The game won't let you. So you have to do like specializations. Like the jack of all trades won't cut it. So you just have to make a choice. Do you want to be able to hack your way through doors, or do you want to be able to pick your way through doors? And it means that, because if I took hacking, I wouldn't be able to lockpick my way into so many places. I would have to use hacking. They provide you with multiple options for all the different solutions. But I just know, like, for my second playthrough, I'm definitely doing hacking and engineering. Oh shit, that's a big old robot over there. Weak point, weak point, weak point, weak point, weak.
Resuming hostilities.
Look at this. All I need is lock point 5. Oh my god, I'm gonna get all sorts of good juicies. Look at this. Museum displays, not a problem. That's what lockpicking is good for right here. Because if I didn't have lockpicking, I wouldn't be able to do that right there. And as a loot ninja, I prefer so like loot all the things. I am a loot goblin. White chocolate yummies. I don't know, that might be tainted by the bathroom. Probably ain't a white chocolate yummy anymore.
Oh, you too.
Will we see her equal?
Wait there. I'll come to you.
Oh shit.
All handled. Now, my turn. There should be...
shit, I missed.
Light flashing before my eyes.
Oh, fuck off.
Knew you had my back.
All right. Any more things I can get into here? Definitely a door I can go through. This is what lockpicking is good for. Special rooms. With extra loots. Good subject side to electrical systems. This was just another room. Yes, please. Cloak driver. That looks interesting. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hello, my dear. What are you? It's light armor. Hold up. Wait a minute. Gains an additional 30% damage resistance, increasing further with your speech skill. I am a speech-based character with max speech. However, when you take damage, you lose half the damage total in bits. Has no effect when you're out of bits. Oh no! That sucks! Dude. So, that would get expensive really quick. What does it look like? Oh, it looks so cool. When you receive damage, you lose half the damage you take in bits. I take a lot of damage. I'm not sure about that. However, that would give me... I maxed speech. Some people say that the prosperous are shielded from the world's misery by their wealth. Those people are right. Oh my goodness. If I didn't care about money, that is a brilliant piece of armor to be wearing around. That is hilarious. It's like literally, if you have enough money to just shrug off the damage that you're going to take, it's totally worth it, right? I'm going to hold on to it. I may eventually use it. That is pretty awesome. Well, that's cool. I think I have a YouTube short, TikTok short, Instagram reel of that piece of armor when they showed it off at Gamescom. So it's really cool to have actually picked it up. All right. Well, we're done there. Open the casket and hope for the best. I don't have sneak. Hope for the best. You slide the top of the casket aside, anticipating some sort of a trap, but the casket opens without issue. Perhaps you were worried for nothing. Remains of the matriarch. Oh shit! Ha ha ha! That's hilarious. Well, yeah, sure, but those remains got put into my, where did they go? They got put in here as junk. Junk items can be broken down or for crafting materials or sold at vendors. May have resale value. I don't know what I'm doing with those. Tomb says working from home so I can actually watch Red Life for once. Nice. What's up, Canuck? Yeah, I think hacking there's a lot of pros to hacking. I definitely prefer my lockpicking for my first playthrough. Hacking and engineering next time.
No one's allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now, hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
Niles is right. We're at the record age, not cold-blooded murderers.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Oh, I forgot to get more coffee when I went out to say
secrecy
good
is your
morning.
concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
Well, I'm not killing this man. I'm not gonna let
This
you
man
either.
is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
We're still letting the curator go. End of debate.
Sorry, Zeb. I'm with the commander on this one.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not
Possible
assert
ice of the
themselves
road
while
will
we're
be
still
safe,
here.
Gray.
You and Niall should turn off the power
Pay
to the
attention,
security
sir.
barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
And I'm gonna go get my coffee because I forgot to do that. That turned into my grannies being like, look, I drew a house, a witch's house with a witch and her broom. Alright, they are on their way to the store. They're going to go get some stuff so we can make breakfast.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we can.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the floors if crossed. Move cautiously. There are gadgets that might help. I suggest using them.
Oh, I can't analyze the text. Oh shit, there was a... Can I just turn them all off?
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later.
So those are all disabled now, right?
Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows?
Get her done,
Could
sir.
come in handy.
Got good instincts. You should trust him more often.
Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime. See what I can come up with.
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed within an automechanical body. I objected, of course, to my father becoming some chimera of machine and man, but was overruled. Now the Order informs me that, far from being a panacea, this attempt has exacted a toll on my father that is likely to finish what time and disease have already begun. I may soon be sovereign. And if that bears out, I will need to hide all of this. Burn all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his auto-mech body away at the factory. What grief I will inherit. What mess.
You've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the door should open.
Correct
If
order.
I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. But which switch corresponds to which number? Damn it. Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
Let's see if we can't suss out which switch is which before we commit to guessing. Seeing as I am doing yet another defibrillation. Maybe if we could peep the wiring.
One, 3, 2. So 1. Well, that doesn't really tell me. it's 1, 3, 2. So 1. The problem is it branches off into 3 places.
Damn it! You triggered the automated security. No.
That looked like a 1 to me, man. Shit, I don't have my time. I'm on the wrong one.
Let me make a second attempt. I just found a logbook that indicates there are N-ray wires installed that may correspond with each switch. Perhaps that'll be useful. The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. 1, 3, 2.
Well, it looked like a 1 to me, man.
Wrong again. The code is 1, 3, 2.
Well, I don't know what's what in here, and I'm too stupid to figure it out. 1. 3. 2.
We're not overly impeded by this puzzle, but I apologize for my... That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
We're gonna blow the door?
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Does that seem a little off to you, Commander?
A little bit.
In all fairness, he tried to help. I don't think he's aiming to get us killed exactly, but I wouldn't place bets on our safety being much of a priority, neither. That business with the curator, I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better.
When you're fighting monsters, sometimes you have to act monstrous yourself.
If I go down the same path as DeVries. Some ideals are worth fighting to keep. Well, no use stewing. Speaking of, remember those components I found? Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take...
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but no matter.
What do we got?
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information.
Personal to the matriarch. Would that I had never been forced to rely on an heir to secure my legacy. With these pressing need, Ruben's strengthens my conviction that what a mistake it was to give him life, and more than that, power. Since becoming my sovereign, he has tightened his fist around this colony, throttling my dreams for it. He is rewriting history, bending facts to his own purposes. I am too old now and too powerless, and full of dread for Arcadia's future than ever. My poor beloved protectorate, I fear, is on the threshold of becoming nearly unrecognizable even to its own mother. The numbers supported our arguments, but what if our original thesis was wrong? Yeah, so regrets of what he did to convert the...
In times of darkness...
This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the Matriarch...
Damn it, I'm not able to...
Nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
Well, I was wanting to listen to that recording. How do I continue to listen to the recording? Because that recording had some juicy details that I was trying to listen to. How do I... Is that gonna be in the codex, maybe? Audio, here we go. must act with haste. I only wish for him to embrace his role as a caretaker and save herself, but he has chosen a different path. Okay.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
That explains all the secrecy around sending us to Horizon Point.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different.
Well, we can still change things. Isn't that why we're here?
There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work. Its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear Matriarch is a fraud. A cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better.
If people knew about this, I'm not sure the Protectorate could survive.
Precisely. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile,
This will probably make Tristan leave my crew.
Enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Auntie's Choice will try and corner the market.
If the whole colony ain't destroyed first by some fool trying to use a drive inside the system. There was causing the rift, Zeb. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
Oh. What do you think, Niles?
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, like throwing it match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences.
All right. Release the skip drive blueprint, but leave the Earth Directorate's name out of it.
Very well. I suppose you've earned your organization some grace.
Still ain't sure about loosening the skip drive designs, but we've got some time there. Until the rift is fixed, no one's going anywhere using one. Not unless they have a death wish. And this way, at least the Earth Directorate's reputation will stay intact too.
Whatever happens next, the Protectorate won't survive it. That's all that matters. Thank you for your assistance in this matter.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
All right, Niles, we got your mod kit,
All right,
sir.
but we best do this quick.
Time to upgrade your ass. Also, if I'm not mistaken, we dinged and can companions have some perks we can spend. Oh. Yes. After being healed by her companion ability, you're immune to all damage after the duration rather than it gaining a bonus to damage reduction. Oh, I like that. Okay, and now we can level up. Booyah! Maxed out lockpicking. So speech and lockpicking are maxed now. What if I want to spend the next 9 levels or whatever? I could be putting points into like leadership stuff, because there's some cool stuff from leadership I might want to get as opposed to just more damage with my weapons. Cool. We are done in here. You know, I still haven't found the 6th and final companion. I'm assuming they're on the planet, that final planet, which we have...
There they are! These are the ruffians who threatened me!
Well, fraction man.
Abide! Replenishing my firearm.
So we let you go and you came back and tried to kill me. What a douche.
Trust the plan.
Shit, there was a sniper on the field.
Seeking cover.
Resuming hostilities. Entering confrontation.
He had some roll grade T on him. That's funny. Gotta let the guy go and he tries to kill me. What an ass. You try to help. Look at how they repay you. Yeah, Game Pass, it's still a few hours out. About 4 hours, I think. About 4 hours away for the Game Pass release. But as for me, I'm going to wrap right here, everybody.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. Reckon the information about the matriarch and the skip drive.
I need to go eat breakfast, and then I got to take my great niece to school in about an hour.
To know the truth. Well, most of it. I'm glad we were deep down. I'm still convinced the galaxy is better.
I'll be back later on today with Painkiller with a key from Saber Interactive. Shout out to them. And then tomorrow morning we'll be back for more Outer Worlds 2.
Something has to change within.
For those of you who are going to be playing today
we're best positioned
on
to see
Game
that
Pass, enjoy. This has been an absolute treat of a game. Don't forget to check out all the game guides I have released. They are spoiler free. There's quite a few, including the Ultimate Beginner's Guide, which I launched yesterday. So check those out. I'll catch everybody next time. Fighting corruption in all its forms is what a good agent does.
Even if the form it takes is that of the agency itself. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed.
Anytime, Niles.
Likewise, Commander.
Oh yeah, that is a hard save moment. Catch you guys on the flip side.